Hey guys, in this video we're going to cover 5 completely free saturation plugins that you can use to warm up your music. Saturation plugins can be used to try and replicate the sound of analog music by adding harmonics and compression. This effect can be subtle, but when used over all the tracks in a mix, it can add a little more life to something that sounds very digital. Since we're using all free plugins, give them a try on your own system. All of them are Windows and Mac compatible and will be linked in the video description down below. First up is IVGI by Klanghelm. This is a subtle saturation plugin that can be used on the master bus or individual tracks if you'd like. We can adjust the drive in the top left to change the amount of saturation that is applied. Asym Mix is an asymmetric saturation control. When turned down, this gives us some compression, but when it's turned up, it's a little more transparent. Crosstalk adjusts the amount of crosstalk behavior between the stereo channels of a track. Output provides a level control, and response determines whether the plugin focuses on applying saturation mostly to the low, high, or neutral frequencies. HeadCrusher by Audio Assault is a more aggressive tube saturation and distortion plugin. In this case, this plugin is a little more noticeable, so it's better suited for individual tracks like bass, guitar, and synths than it would be on the master bus. For this plugin, we get a drive control, output level, low cut, tone knob, and high cut. Voxengo Tube Amp applies tube overdrive to a track to increase the warmth and can be pushed further to be used as a distortion effect as well. We can increase the saturation with the drive knob, apply a low pass filter to remove some excessive high frequency harmonics, and adjust the output gain from this plugin. The bias knob just slightly tweaks the sound of the saturation to get it sounding at its best for the particular track we're using it on. SGA 1566 Tube Preamp by Shattered Glass Audio is a single channel vintage tube mic preamp plugin. This is another plugin to add subtle tube warmth to a track or more aggressive overdrive and distortion. We get an input level control, gain to add some saturation, and output level control. Above that, we have bass and treble EQ adjustments and a switch to change where it is in the signal chain. The plugin can be oversampled and has a control for whether it uses high or low CPU usage, which I set to high. Finally, there's a switch to process the audio in stereo or mono. Softube Saturation Knob is a very popular saturation plugin and it's very simple to use. We simply adjust the amount of saturation with the knob on the plugin to increase it. When doing this, bring it up to where you notice a difference and see how it's affecting the sound, then bring it down a little. Saturation effects like this one work best when not overpowering your sound. For other controls, we have a simple switch at the bottom. If we set it to keep high, we'll apply saturation to the low frequencies without changing the highs. This works in the same way to keep low by saturating the high frequencies without affecting the lows as much. Thanks for checking out this video on free saturation plugins. If you have some favorites of your own, let us know about them in the comments. We also have more videos available on this channel for free plugins, so make sure to check those out, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to get notifications whenever we release new videos.